Good morning, everybody, and welcome to B County Commissioners Court. Today is Monday, August 24th, 2026. The time is 9:01 a.m. I'm going to call the special called meeting of the court to order. We're physically located at the B County Courthouse, Commissioners Courtroom, number 110, 105 West Corpus Christi Street, Beeville, Texas, 78102. That was the call to order. Would everybody please join Mr. Jemison in a brief prayer?
Please bow your heads. The gracious Heavenly Father, the decisions being made here and discussed here, dear Lord, is in a Christian manner, in which every individual feels they've been heard, and yet the business and your guiding hand be upon them. Just bless us during this time. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Jemison. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. That's good.
Link in there.
Okay. We're at agenda item number 4, which is recognition of visitors. This is not public comment. This is recognition of visitors. If there's anybody in the audience today who would like to identify themselves merely for the court's record, and if you're with a company, you can identify the company you're with, but we won't take any additional comments, please. You may do so at this time. Is there anybody who wants to identify themselves for the court? Okay. Thank you all for being here. Please come back often. Moving on to agenda item number 5, Commissioners Court opening remarks. By default, it's you, Commissioner Linney. You have the floor, sir.
By default.
You got it.
I got that.
Man, talk about executive decision. Wow, good morning, everyone. I want to thank Robert Bridge, Michael Montes, Jeff Silva for helping this past Saturday, two Saturdays ago. We were able to get out and help some veterans and some elderly people in town and in Blueberry Hill, as well as trimmed a bunch of vines that were hanging off the stop signs and yield signs in Blueberry Hill. Got all that taken care of. Also got in contact with TxDOT about crosswalks. Thank you, Commissioner Farias. They told me you were going to pass that down to me. So they're at Moreno Junior High, crossing Minnesota at West Diaz, West Bowie, and West Hefferman. Then they should get those crosswalks put up either this week, if not next week. So got that taken care of. Also, I want to thank Road and Bridge, getting some illegal dumping picked up on Gill Ranch Road, Kingria Lane. Mowing continues in the La Parra area. They did have a breakdown with the shredder, but it's all fixed and running back again. Got some patchwork done on 341, 332, and River Oaks area. And also thanks to Kenneth Mendoza with Road and Bridge for getting the herbicide sprayed all around the Blueberry Hill area. And last but not least, I will be attending the legislative conference this week in Austin, Wednesday through Friday. And with that, I will pass to my left.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm going to keep it fairly concise this time. We have a lot of folks here, and I think they have some things they want to say. But I would like to start out by shouting out for a few people. Number one, the auditor's office. Ben Ramirez has been a jewel in that office, helping us get our safety and security lights up around the county. He performed his magic again, and we got some more up. Also want to give a shout out to Commissioner Oliveras and Commissioner Farias for continuing what Commissioner Hager and I started right at 10 years ago with the safety and security lights around the county. Commissioner Farias is working on some on Fenner Street as we speak. That's the main street that's going to be going to the new elementary. One of them is up. I think the second one needs a transformer.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Oliveras has been working on safety and security lights down around Tynan. For those of you that aren't familiar with what we're talking about, as you go around the county, whether you're in Skidmore, Tynan, Pawnee, Pettis, Toledo, wherever you are, those security lights you see on 181 and on the highways and on the intersections, B County put those lights up through AEP and through San Pat, and it's taken about 10 years to get them where we are. We've probably got about 150 up around the county. We're changing them out now as we can from the high pressure sodium to the LED. I'm especially proud that the corridor between Beeville and Pettis on 181, we just got a new one up on 181 just past the country club on the right, there was a fatality there about 2 years ago. An infant was killed. That was a safety concern, so we got the light up. It's LED. If you go further down 181 where 2824 comes into 181, there's two there. They've been changed over to LED. Go to West King Lane, LED. Going into Pettus, they're LED where the school is. We're real proud of those. They're there forever. They help everybody. The first responders have told us how much they appreciate having those lights up. We have them in Mineral. We have them all over the county. And the process started about 10 years ago with Commissioner Haggard and I. When we saw that there was a need, we tried to figure out how to do it. We went to TxDOT. The TxDOT process is very complicated, let's say at the least. It takes years and years and years to get anything done. So we went directly to AEP and San Pat and said, what can we do? They gave us a procedure. The court at that time came up with the ground rules. We've been doing it ever since. We continue to add as we go. And it's one of those check marks that I think this court and previous courts need to be very proud of. We don't know how many accidents have been prevented, how many people have been saved from harm. Right after we put up the one on 2824, I had an elderly lady come to me. She said, Commissioner DeWitt, you don't know how much I appreciate you putting that light up. I said, ma'am, what are you talking about? She said, well, one night I stopped at the stop sign, and I was stopped on 181 where 2824 comes in, and I looked to my left, and there was a man walking toward my car in the dark. She said, now with the lights, we'll know there's people there, and we'll know what to do and not to do. So as you go around the county, and you see those lights at night, now we don't put up the ones that the highway department puts up, but we have all the others. Thank your county commissioner, thank your court for doing what we're doing. And there is an expense. We have to pay the monthly charge, but it's worth it. And we're getting a lot of positive feedback. With that, Judge, I'm going to pass because I know we have folks that want to talk, and I don't want to take up too much time.
That surprised even me. Commissioner Fedias. I thought that was just the opening salvo.
No, I got too much more over here.
Good morning, everyone. This past 2 weeks, first of all, we had a meeting with Judge Bauer. We're trying to find him a new office and space and new home here in Beeville. And I want to thank Johnny Zaguirre, Franny at the elections office. The old elections office, it was across the street. We're looking at that to refurbish that and create some new offices in that space. Also to Craig Oliver for the help. I had a meeting at Bee Development Authority. We're still working on our budget over there and trying to get that put together here in the next month. So, and then we also had a Zoom meeting with the courthouse architects for the restoration with the Historical Society. And the next step to start on phase 1 is the contractual docs, the conditions assessments, the drawings. Phase 2 is the mechanical work, and we're still looking at that. We're going to have a meeting still further on. We're still trying to decide if we're going to go in that direction for the amount of money and try to figure out where we're going to get that moving forward. Had one light put on at Finner Street, like Commissioner DeWitt said, and then the second light is on 351 in Finner. That's the main entrance coming into the new elementary school, and we're waiting on a transformer to come in there. Other than that, for the county's part, that project is complete there. The road is expanded, it's cleaned up, it's ready to go. We had another air conditioning unit go out in the Justice Building. Johnny Zaguirre is getting bids for that. We've already got that going. That controls the air conditioning in our district attorney's office. Ms. McWilliams is out of a few offices with no AC, so we're working on that pretty quick. We're also waiting to get the third bid, and I believe the bidder out there to take down the oak tree that's rotting out there in the front, and the gentleman is out there this morning, and we'll get that turned in before 11 o'clock today, and then, Judge, you can decide which one you're going to attack on that. And then also we have a big thank you to Chief Russell Kirk, Ryan Garza, Rob, Johnny Zaguirre, and Franny. They went out to the sheriff's office this past week. We got a new storage tank out there for emergency water for our sheriff's office. They ran the first test. Everything was very successful, very easy to run. So we are prepared in case if there's a water boil, no water here, or a hurricane or anything. That sheriff's office can run 6 days without getting water or transporting any prisoners. So that's a big savings to the county there. And with that, Judge, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Don't know how I follow that. Thank you all for your updates. Moving on to agenda item number 6, public comment. Before I open the floor to public comment, I'm hopeful that many of y'all are here today to address Commissioners Court. I want to make a couple points. First of all, please keep your comments to 4 minutes or less. And if you are here to address agenda item number 14, which is discussion regarding proposed AI data center in North B County, we'll be receiving your comments during public comment, not during the agenda item. When the agenda item is called, Commissioners Court will have the discussion, not members of the public. So I don't want you to not make comments thinking that you're going to be able to make comments at the agenda item, and then you're prevented from doing so by me. Not trying to be mean, just trying to keep the flow of the discussion moving forward. Otherwise, of course, anybody that is here present on any specific agenda item other than that agenda item, you can make your presentation at the time that that agenda item is called. And there may be other people here that want to address Commissioners Court for a reason unrelated to agenda item 14, and that's okay. And now would be your time to speak to Commissioners Court as well. So I don't know, do we have a list?
She's getting the list now, Judge.
Excellent. We have a list that's been filled out. If there's anybody if there's anybody who didn't add their name to the list, once I get through the list, just raise your hand and I'll make sure we get to you as well. So, okay, remember, 4 minutes, and if you want to speak about agenda item number 14, you need to do so. I'm going to set a timer up on my phone. I'm serious about the 4-minute time frame. Remember, we can't engage in discussion with you. We can only receive your comments, no matter how much we may want to engage with you. We're not allowed to do so. So first up on public comment is Anthony Hilburn. Mr. Hilburn, if you want to.
I will hold my comment until later.
Okay, thank you, sir.
There is no later.
For agenda item 14?
Yes.
There is no later.
Okay.
This is the time, and the other thing I said, thank you, Mr. Hilburn, you know what, you know the drill. Please make sure you come up to the lectern, okay? That way you're on the record and the microphone will pick you up.
Okay.
Mr. Hilburn, you may begin.
Yes, I'm Anthony Hilburn, and I'm with the Pettus Community Environmental Community Involvement, and also with the Pettus Municipal Water Board, with concern of the water quality with this AI center. I also have a question of ownership of the flock camera that is installed in Pettus, whether that can be answered by the commission, by the sheriff's department. I would like to know and let the public know who owns that particular camera.
Thank you, Mr. Hilburn, for your comments. Next up is Carl Dietzman. Okay, thank you, sir. Next up is Barbara McCarn. Did I mispronounce your name? No, sir. Okay. And y'all know if you don't speak now, I'm not going to let you speak on agenda item number 14. I may have not said that correctly. Okay. Next up, Lisa Hines.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I live in Pawnee, Texas. We farm and ranch. We are very concerned about our water and our living situation in Pawnee, Texas with the data center coming in. We all have water wells. Our cattle drink from our water wells. We have water wells at our home. There's been people already in the area that have drilled 2, 3, 4 water wells. There's already an issue with water. We'd have to check our cattle every day because we don't know whether our pumps are putting out water. Just very concerned with livestock, wildlife, everything in the area. I will live 1 mile from the data center. My children live a half a mile from the data center where they're planning on putting it. We're very concerned. We can live without a data center, but we cannot live without water. And we cannot raise livestock. And that's what feeds America. So, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, I write a little slowly. I blame it on being lefty. Marie Welkner? Okay, thank you, ma'am. Janice Diaz? Ms. Diaz? Oh, okay, well, good. Not the best environment for visiting, but I'm glad you're here, thank you. Karen DeBose?
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm Karen Duvos, and I live on my grandparents' farm in Pawnee, Texas, which is about a couple of miles from where this data center's going in. And while we're gathering all the information, it's very concerning, and we're just now hearing about it, and that's of a big concern. Just not knowing where this all came from so quickly, at least to me. Now, maybe other people knew about it, and, you know, but I've never heard a word about it. Anyway, the same thing that Ms. Hines said, you know, the environment, I guess my first thought was they must be trying to put them out in rural areas because they don't know what the consequences of these places are going to do. So they put it out here in rural areas, less populated, so there's less damage, was my thought. Anyway, I'm very concerned, and I'm here to support this group that we're trying to come together to see what we can do about all this. And of course, with y'all's help, maybe we can do something about it, and we would appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. My apologies for the alarm going off during your time. Next up, Sylvia Padilla. You don't want to speak? Okay. Thank you for coming. Abigail Brown? Okay, Ms. Brown. Oh, it's nice to see you. Usually it's just once a year at the livestock show. Kelsey Woods?
Can I stand to the side?
Yes, of course. That's unfair to you, and it was not intentional. I'm going to have a stern talking to. Who can I blame?
Okay. Okay, so my name is Kelsey Woods. I am from Pawnee. Good morning. Thank you for letting me speak today. I've lived in Pawnee since I was 2 years old. I am here to speak on the potential data center in Pawnee. Of the utmost importance is transparency, and it's due to our community. Although we are small and some may say we're forgotten, we have a tight-knit community with more families living in this area surrounding Pawnee than you might realize. We love the land in our town, and we deserve a say in the destruction of our natural resources, whether it be the water or the land that we rely on. To muddle the plan is not what we are looking to do. We are looking to have county officials and the company involved provide transparency and ensure that our county resources and our residents are safe. My husband is from Tennessee, but has become a Texan. And the reason we chose to stay in Texas was that it provided solitude and safety. From the research that we have done, the safety seems to be at risk, and we have some questions. Can you ensure that the water from the residents of B County is protected? Because our wells are already running dry, and the research has proven there is a lack of transparency with water usage in data centers. Will you ensure that the contaminated wastewater does not affect our creeks, our stock tanks, and our water wells? Because the lack of protection from these data centers has cost the residents of Cheyenne, Wyoming clean water. Will you ensure the center will not harm or affect our livestock or wildlife in any way? Because the livelihood of a huge percentage of your B County residents is at stake. Will you ensure that if a fire broke out in the proposed center, we would have a fast enough response time from San Antonio or Corpus to save the homes of those living within just a half mile, a mile, or a few miles of the proposed site. Because this would not be a simple grass fire, it will involve highly flammable batteries and chemicals. Will you ensure that the noise and light pollution would not affect our health? While some may say that light and noise can affect humans and animals, please read the literature that disproves that. Will you ensure that the pros outweigh the cons? This requires educating yourself on data centers and putting the residents of B County first. Could you ensure that our county wells will be protected before a mega corporation uses our land as another way to make money? Will you ensure that that there will be a town hall meeting with this company? Because due to past situations in Pawnee, our voices and concerns will be heard. Lastly, can you ensure that what is released into our environment will not harm the residents and more specifically the children of B County? I suggest you look into the work of Dr. Michael Cork, who has conducted an analysis showing that air pollution from new power sources could have serious health impacts, specifically the effect of fine particulate matter, which is estimated to drive nearly 90% of health impacts from air pollution and is not typically measured in traditional energy or climate tests, nor is it included in infrastructure planning decisions. With an increase in regional air pollution, there is the risk of an increase of the estimated annual health damages to the people of our region. And keep in mind, the predominant wind blows right to the school 2 miles away. To conclude, stating that the center will be safe, trusting that a foreign company has safety measures put in place is not enough for us. We need a documented plan that protects us before it's too late. We need to ensure before or if plans move forward, we are protected. We need third-party testing done by the county to protect its citizens. We need a town hall meeting with the company in charge of the data center. And I would like you to see, and I will email this to you, this is our petition. We are pushing 800 signatures. This foreign company coming in is not responsible for the overall well-being of our county residents, but y'all are. Transparency is provided not through blind trust, but informing yourself and providing information to those who will be affected. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next up, Mr. Bridge. Okay. Next up, Joe Johnson.
Good morning. My name is Joe Johnson, and I am here to voice several concerns about the potential data center in Pawnee, Texas. The proposed location is less than 3 miles from the home that we built for our family 3 years ago. I have many concerns about this project, but what concerns me most as a nearby homeowner is our literal life source, water. Texas, including B County and the surrounding region, has experienced significant drought and water supply challenges. While recent rainfall has improved local water levels, that does not eliminate our concerns about our long-term water supply. For families like mine who depend entirely on private wells, groundwater is not just a resource that we use. It is our drinking water, our household water, and the water our livestock depends on. The permit for this project is an air quality permit, but it does not address my concerns about water. The Texas Water Development Board has acknowledged that facility-specific water use information for data centers is limited and that projecting future demand is difficult because of differences in cooling technologies, power sources, and facility locations. So before this project moves forward, I believe we need to know exactly how much water this facility will require at maximum capacity, where that water will come from, and what impact that demand could have on our local groundwater. The B County Groundwater Conservation District's own management system plan gives the district authority to regulate groundwater withdrawals and require reductions when necessary to prevent harm to the aquifer. Has the district been consulted about this facility's anticipated groundwater demand? Has it determined whether that demand could harm the aquifer or interfere with existing wells? Our water well is already 220 feet deep. If this project's groundwater withdrawals cause significant drawdown, my family cannot simply connect to a city water supply. Finding another water source could potentially cost us thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. I'm not only concerned about depletion, I'm also concerned about water quality and potential contamination. What safeguards will protect our groundwater during construction and operation? What happens if there is a spill, a leak, wastewater issues, chemical release, or contamination? Who monitors that, and who is responsible for protecting and compensating private well owners who are affected? I want to make it very clear. I am strongly opposed to a data center being built in Pawnee, Texas. But if this project ultimately moves forward, I want these concerns addressed before we discover after the fact that our wells have been negatively affected. I am asking that before this project moves forward, there be an independent groundwater impact study based on maximum water demand and drought conditions, baseline groundwater and water quality testing of surrounding private wells, full disclosure of the facility's maximum water demand, water source, cooling system, wastewater plants, and chemical and fuel storage, ongoing groundwater and water quality monitoring, and most importantly, legally enforceable protections for existing private well owners if measurable depletion, loss of well production, or contamination occurs. My family, and families like ours, cannot simply move our well. This is our home, this is our water, and I'm asking that we do everything possible to make sure it remains safe and viable, not only for our lifetime, but for our children's lifetime as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Lisa Gill? Thank you, ma'am. Oscar Sanchez?
Good morning. I didn't print anything out or anything. I hope y'all are enjoying this Texas heat. But, I guess I'm talking more on the fire suppression side. We've all dealt with many fires and oil field type, but we've never dealt with a solid oxide fuel cell. I'm pretty sure y'all have heard good things about it, pros and cons. The good thing is that they're not bad for the environment and they produce water and CO2, and that's pretty much about it. They do operate very, very high heat, 600 to like 1,000 degrees Celsius, which is about 1,100 to 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit, like a blowtorch, cut steel. They can operate off of ammonia, natural gas, propane, butane, a variety of stuff, make a little noise. But I guess if something that hot were to cause a fire, and we do not have that. And I don't know any places here, maybe in Corpus, maybe in Dallas, San Antonio, if a fire were to break out, a firefighter would probably put water on it. Now, the bad part about this is it's a very complex system, but you got an anode and a cathode. Oxygen comes in on the cathode. Anode is where the fuel comes in, and you have a zirconia ceramic plate in the center, or sheets, and they can withstand massive amounts of heat. But if they're cooled down rapidly, which are water, they'll fracture, and it allows the fuel and oxygen to mix, not as it's intended. So we could cause potential death, or something bad could happen to a firefighter, especially a volunteer. You know, we're not paid. We don't get paid to go to trainings. I guess the question is there anything in place by the county, if they were to open up, that would allow training and to obtain each department with the correct or the right type of equipment we would need to handle a situation like that? It's a safety concern. They generate massive amounts of heat. They can't be turned on or off with the switch. That's just something that I got. Like the amount of water, if they were to have the water that we would need to attend that, they would probably have to have on hand a stock pond, a massive tank, some sort of a standpipe. Would they have that? You know, that data center itself, proposed with that size, consumes about what Beeville and all its residents would consume in a day. And you don't get that water back. Would they have that for us? Would they provide that type of training? I mean, there's no rich like Saudi rich, but are they really willing to invest that much money into making sure that we are safe and able to respond in case something like that were to happen? And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Deborah Wardley?
Chelsea said everything I needed, you know, to say so.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Gibbs Worley? Oh, man. Davis Brown? Dr. Brown, I'm sorry.
I'm short too. I appreciate your time. I graduated from A&M Veterinary School in '69. I practiced 46 years. A bunch of that's beef cattle, and a smaller bunch was dairies before all the small and mid-dairy farmers couldn't do it anymore because of the margin of profit. But last year in Texas, there was 2,000 farms and ranches that got sold because they couldn't make it. So we're losing ground, we're losing acreage without data centers coming in. It's happening all over the United States, But in Texas alone last year, 2,000 farms, that's a lot. We don't need to lose any more grass. If we don't have grass, don't have land to graze cattle on, you're not gonna have steaks at HEB, you're not gonna have milk. That's a fact. I mean, we all eat all this, we all go to HEB. People need to think about that too. And I don't know a lot about all the rest of it, but I do know about cows. And milk production is directly affected, beef or dairy, directly affected by the amount of light in a day, the heat, and noise. They've proven it. And you can get on your phone, all y'all that are technologically advanced more than me, and read all day long. That's before data center. And my understanding about data centers is they produce a lot of noise, a lot of light, 24/7, and a lot of heat. And I'm 80 years old, or fixing to be, and I don't have time to run a study to prove this, but you can prove it with dairy cows pretty quick. If you set up north or south, upwind, downwind of a data center, right on it, half a mile out, mile and a half. I'd love to see that. And I'm 99% sure, because the only reason I don't say 100, because the only 100% sure thing is death and taxes. But I'm 99% sure if somebody did a study like that, the cows that are right next to a data center are going to produce less milk. You can prove it real fast in a dairy cow because they milk her every day, twice a day. And they got computer, I mean, you can beam up each cow every day. Beef cattle, the only way to measure milk production is to wean the calf, weaning weights. And that'd take a lot longer. But I'd love to see somebody take 200 match set of Brayford cows and put 25 cows in a bull right next to a data center and another bunch, quarter mile, half mile, 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. And then start weighing their calves at weaning weight. It'd have to be a pretty controlled study. I'd love to do it. I really would. And I'd be willing to bet you money that the cattle that are closest to that data center are going to wean off a lighter calf. I know the dairy cow is going to produce less milk. I mean, there's enough environmental things to bother us in the production of beef and dairy products. We don't need any help from a data center. And I don't know enough about it. I'm not technologically advanced. But maybe we do need them. But put them in a desert somewhere. I mean, stack them up. You know, I don't know that. There's got to be something good about it, or people wouldn't be trying to do it. But they're not thinking about us. We got a backyard too. Our backyard's not as big as the guys across the street from the courthouse over here. But, you know, it's bigger, but that doesn't mean we're not there. But I appreciate your time. But I just wanted to make sure that everybody in this room, whether you have a cow or not, everybody in here goes to the grocery store and buys meat and dairy products, and it's going to affect that. We're already losing enough ground. We don't need any help. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Doc. I apologize. I just can't discern the first name. Buchanan? Miss Buchanan. What is your first? Eva. Eva. My apologies. No problem. Very nice to see you. Okay, but you don't want to speak. Come on, y'all gotta, pretty soon, we're here. I've got like 6 names left. Everybody else has to speak. So, no more passing. All right, next up, oh man, Maggie Forster? The ink ran out. Did I say your name correctly? Forster. My apologies, ma'am. No problem. And I was just kidding. If you don't want to speak, you don't have to. But I want to hear from y'all. So.
This is kind of off the cuff, but it had
Sorry.
You're out of time.
already?
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time.
I'll give you
Yes,
another
this is
set.
off the cuff. It occurred to me that it is quite likely this data center is not the beautiful thing that they tell us that it's going to be. If things have to be hidden, they're hidden for a reason. It just comes to me that they're hiding more than they're telling us. And I think down the road, if this thing goes in, we're going to regret it. Thank you. That's all I had to say.
Thank you, Ms. Forster. Did I say that correctly this time?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm losing all my confidence with names now, so. Landon Gulick.
I'm here, but not for agenda item.
Okay.
Shower.
No, above. Earl? What was your last name? Buchanan. Oh, Buchanan. Okay. No? Okay. Gosh dog it. Right. Quattro Shower.
Item number 12.
Okay. Alfredo Alvarez.
Good morning. My name is Alfredo Alvarez, and I'm with the Pawnee Fire Department. And I've listened to the past speakers, and they all got good points, and I think that's commendable about them. I didn't come anything prepared, but I'm with Oscar. We're not prepared for a fire of that, that magnitude. Really, I don't think any fire department is ready for that. I don't know if any. I've read about them, and they seem to shy away from giving us any information on this lithium-ion batteries storage. And just like the solar panel people, we were told, oh, we're going to give y'all training and this and that. Only thing when we've gone to fires, and Oscar knows, we've gone to fires, they say, don't put water on the solar panels, just on the grass. Same thing with the wind turbines. No training, they didn't give us anything. They just put them up and see you later. But I'm not for this data center, because why they're building it out there, and the water situation. That's a big concern, because like we said, we're all in the water wells. Few of us have El Oso, but that's not reliable. So anyway, my concern is about the water and the fire. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alvarez. Greg Gordon? Hey, Mr. Gordon, come on down.
Thanks for hearing us. My name is Greg Gordon. I'm not new to Pawnee, but I'm new to living there. It's family land for multiple generations. I live about a mile or less right on the big turn going into Pawnee, depending on if it's post office or FedEx, whether it's Kennedy or Pawnee, my address. But I think somebody said earlier that she said that they think they don't know what the impact is. That's why they're putting it out in the rural areas. I think they know exactly what the effect is, and they're putting it out in rural areas because small communities, they think, aren't going to push back. And I think we all have multiple concerns. Lisa has cattle on our place. B County is well aware of water shortages. If these things need cooling, put them in Alaska. Would seem to be the smart play. Someplace colder than here. I mean, we live in the desert, and there's just multiple concerns with the light pollution, the noise, fire, explosion, the emissions that these things put off. I saw a study on it, not a scientist, I'm an engineer. A lot of bad stuff. It says small traces, but it's bad stuff. But small stuff becomes big stuff during catastrophe. If there is a fire, something goes wrong, and like the fire staff said, they're not equipped to put out, I mean, they can handle grass fires sometimes, but nothing like this, not a chemical fire. And I don't think it's selfish for us. I have a city house in San Antonio. I chose to live down here on family land a couple of years back. I don't think it's selfish to want to look at the stars at night without ambient light in the background, big light and big noise. You know, we like the deer, we like the cattle, we like the peace and quiet. And I chose Pawnee for a reason. So that's kind of That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon.
Thank you.
Shauna Gordon? No, come on, you're the last one on the list. All right.
I have a question. So there's a bunch of people out there. Do they get a chance to speak? Because I don't think they knew that they needed to. Yeah, we did not.
That's okay. If y'all were here at the beginning, before, when I was explaining public comment, I said, hey, anybody that left that didn't sign up, don't worry. I'm going to get to you when I get done with the list. That's okay. Thank you, Ms. Woods. Okay. Yes, ma'am. And now I don't have your name in front of me, so make sure when you come up and you're at the lectern, say your name, or I'm going to have to interrupt you and say, hey, we need to know for the record who you are.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having all of us. We sure do know how to fill up a room. My name is Melissa Sanchez. I am with Pettis Environmental Restoration. I'm the founder and sitting secretary. Most of my questions, I have a list of 10 questions. Most everybody has tapped on a lot of those. One thing, as women, we are the neck that turns the head, and I want to talk about money. Because this data center could end up being one of the largest single taxpayers in North Bee County, what's the plan if the valuation drops? They get new abatements, or they shut down? Who eats the gap? And how will you keep it from landing on homeowners, farmers, and small landowners up here? Will you commit in writing that for every year the data center receives any tax break or incentive, North Bee County residents in the impacted area receive a proportional tax break, reduction, or credit in their county tax bill? We tapped on independent third-party hydro study. I'd like to see that done and posted where everybody can see it in plain view on a website. The wells, if local people or surrounding areas or even local municipals such as Pettis, if their wells start to get infiltrated by different types of sand, is there going to be any funding by this company or the county to help offset the costs of current turnover of whether they have to do any type of what the filtration systems, if they have to dig a new well because now they have to go to a deeper water source? Is there going to be money for that? Is the county going to help offset that? Is the company going to help offset that? Before you sign off on this, I need you guys to say in plain language how this project improves life for a regular taxpayer in Pettis or Pawnee or in North Bee County, say by 2028. Not in theory, not it grows the tax base. What actually changes for the person on a fixed income opening their tax bill? We all like to see the budget grow. We do understand the trickle-down effect. It could potentially help schools like Pawnee, schools like Pettis. It can help pad our taxes here for the county with jobs. Is this going to be something where a Saudi-owned company that's partnering with Europe and United States landowners, are they going to hire locally? How long are the projects? Is this something that you guys are ready to put into contracts in the underwriting? And lastly, is it worth it? Is it worth it for the voters, the constituents? Is it worth it for your seats to have something like this that could drain our ecosystem and our pockets? Is it worth it? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sanchez. Ma'am, did you want to speak?
Afternoon. I'm Audra Tallwater. I'm actually speaking for the Normanna Fire Department also. So they touched on a lot of things, but my question would be not only, just to spin off of yours, not only providing for the training, are they going to pay for that? Are they going to pay for the water coming in too. We already have a problem with water, and we are volunteers. If you want the data on that, and you can look at who signs up to be on our fire teams, just ask probably any one of them out here or in the community, and no offense to y'all, but you're not there, we are there, they are there. Who shows up? How long does it take to show up? My husband and I have been here for quite a while. We've seen San Antonio and their response and having to come out here. We've already had training for these batteries. Training is sitting in a building, watching some slideshows, some talk, and that's it. We are not ready for this at all. And just to give us a little bit of training where we go and we sit and not providing the equipment for us, that is asking for death. And I have personally watched and heard death happen because of the training and the lack of training, not just on our side, but from the ones that have to put the calls out, that have to come, that the emergency management. It takes a while for emergency to come and help and fill in those gaps. So are they going to have that on hand? Because I've been here long enough that I've seen companies come in and out and things are still standing there. And unfortunately, there's been death on their part, not on ours. We've done everything we can. We don't have first responders like we used to. And we just don't have the training. So I'd like to see y'all have that come in, and transparency for that. Put that out there. There's a lot of secrets happening that shouldn't be happening. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Tutwater. Is there anybody else in this room whose name isn't on the list but who wants to speak? Or anybody whose name's on the list that passed earlier but now has changed their mind and wants to speak? Yes, ma'am.
Can we speak again?
Nope.
Hello, my name is Sylvia Padilla. I'm tiptoeing. When a I did some research, and there's just a few questions that I have. When a data center is pitched to a town, the focus is on jobs, on employment. But what the focus is not on, and no one speaks about, is the permanent jobs. So yes, as far as my research goes, a data center would create a multitude of jobs. But that's just for the construction of it. Once it's complete, there will be a lot of layoffs. I would say 80%. It only takes, from what I understand, it only takes up to 50 people to run a data center. And those people are engineers and electricians, janitors, and there was one more. At any rate, you go from 2,000 jobs to 50 jobs. So you have 6 months to 8 months of building and people getting used to getting paid. In our rural town, they're going to get used to getting paid 20 plus an hour, and then all of a sudden it's going to be taken away from them. We have a hard enough time right now finding work to get something come into town that will give us temporary work. And then if you don't have the degree, or they pull in people from outside B County. It's known. If you research, that's who runs their data centers, is people from their country, from their, wherever they came from, wherever they're posted at. And B County gets what? The citizens get what? Today I ask you, who do you stand up for? Today I ask you, you're You are in a voted position. You're here because of us. We ask you to stand up for us. I live in Mineral. But it is not going to take very long for that data center to start hurting the rest of the county, to start trickling down its pain and suffering down to South B County. It's a written, if you research it, you'll see it. I'm just talking about, I understand if someone comes up and says, oh, we're going to give y'all so many jobs. Well, in writing, can you document it and tell us how long the longevity of it is? So that we know? Can we have documentation as to the permanent people? Can they be Bevillians? Can they be from B County? Do they have to come from your wherever your home base is at? What benefit does that data center gonna have long-term for B County? That's just my question.
Thank you, Ms. Padilla. Is there anybody else in this room? Is there anybody out in the hallway that wants to address Commissioners Court and public comment? One of my bailiffs could maybe... No, nobody out there? Nobody at all? We sure? Anybody in here that's changed their mind in the 10 seconds, which I last asked, that wants to address Commissioners Court? All right.
Yeah, well,
I knew if I kept bugging
there
y'all,
you go.
somebody
You're
would
doing
get
good,
up.
Judge.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to echo some of what's already been said. I am a landowner. My husband's family.
Name, please.
Pardon?
Name.
Marie Welkner.
Thank you,
I'm
Ms.
sorry.
Welkener. It's okay.
My husband's family has had land there since the 1940s. And he has passed, but I still have my cattle over there, less than a mile. And we need water for our cattle. And we also need protection for our residents. I been in real estate, and I was part of listing a home directly across the road from this place that they're wanting to put in. And I think about those people. They moved here from California to get away from California, politics and land prices and everything else. And I just am concerned because all of us need the water, and we don't need the commotion and the noise and everything else, and the possibility of fires that cannot be taken care of by our fire departments. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Welkener. Yes, ma'am. All right. Just make sure you identify both of the speakers this morning.
Might be this one. Ashley Jones, Jedediah Jones, just in case he does speak. I'm not from Pawnee, but I am from north of Beeville, off of 2824, sorry. And my biggest concern with this is the water. I'm raising 5 kids, and that's our livelihood is water, just like everyone else. We need to make sure that we are taking care of B County first. And if that means we don't allow a data center to come in, it's not something that's needed, that's necessary, then, we address that issue. And so that's just my small 2 cents.
Thank you, Ms. Jones and Jedediah. Anyone else? Going one? Oh, all right. Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Just identify yourself for the record, please.
Yes, sir. Larry Rusk. I am the owner of Double L Woodworking. Some of you know me. I live out there off of County 132 and 136. I am, as the crow flies, 500 yards from this place. My business is there. My home is there. Now, I was out in the hallway, and I don't know whether the mics are not working or what, but you can't hear anything in the hallway. But somebody might have already mentioned it. I don't know. What is going to be the environmental impact on the endangered species out there? The horned frogs, the Texas tortoise. That was brought up whenever they wanted to do the saltwater disposal from the oil field that they wanted to put in, and that was one of the reasons they weren't able to do it. So how are these people going to protect those? And the other thing is there going to be any public record of any of y'all signing NDAs? Because if there is, and any NDAs are signed, then we know who's taking the money. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rusk. Anybody else? Yeah, of course.
My name's Lisa Gill. I'm from Pawnee. What I wanted to bring up is what is this going to do to the school with that being 2.25 miles with a data center going in? How many people are going to want to pull their kids from that school, which is a great school, because that data center is close by and they don't know the results of it? That's my big concern besides the water and the other things. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gill. I'm getting a cramp in my hand, y'all. Is there anybody else? Oh, perfect timing. Are we sure? Anybody else want to give 60 seconds? All right, going once, going twice. Okay, thank you all for your presence, for your comments.
Landon has something else he wants to talk about during his time.
Yeah, during his agenda.
No, right now, during public comment. He's not on the agenda.
Oh, Landon, you did want to speak? I didn't think so.
I thought you were going to talk about the, oh, I'm sorry.
It's almost 10, no, not a problem.
I'm sorry, Judge.
Okay, folks, before I move, actually, you know what, we'll do one agenda item, just for efficiency's sakes. Agenda item number 7, the following items are of an administrative nature. Commissioners Court has been furnished documentation on each item, and all such items may be acted upon by one vote without being discussed separately unless requested by a commissioner or county judge.
Move to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our consent agenda. Consent agenda is usually housekeeping items that come up every Commissioners Court meeting. And so we roll them into this consent agenda, and each commissioner or myself have the absolute right to pull any items that are contained on the consent agenda for further discussion, if further discussion is desired by any commissioner. That's why we just did that, since I have a captive audience, and I thought, you know, I like to speak too. I'd bend y'all's ears for a minute. I'm also trying to kill time until 10 a.m. when we're going to have another public hearing, a different public hearing, a hearing within our Commissioners Court hearing. I ought to cancel that alarm. That alarm was about to go off on me. Wouldn't have that been sweet justice? All right. Hang tight. It's 9:59. Let me see if I can find it. Where is the public hearing? Okay. Okay. The time is now 10 a.m. Court's going to call agenda item number 15, public hearing pursuant to Texas Transportation Code. Actually, wait. Did I take a vote? Thank you. Is there any further discussion on agenda item number 7? Besides my ramble. Hearing none, all those in favor?
You took a vote.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. All right, no worries.
Aye.
It's still 10 o'clock, so now I'm going to call agenda item number 15. Is everybody still with me here, or have I muddled the entire day? Public hearing pursuant to Texas Transportation Code, Chapter 253, entitled County Improvement of Subdivision Roads, Vernon's 2003, to consider reduction in speed limit from 35 miles per hour to 25 miles per hour on Fenner Street in Beeville, Texas. Agenda item number A is open public hearing at 10 a.m. Agenda item subpart B is closed public hearing and take any action deemed necessary. So it is now 10:01 a.m. and I am opening the public hearing. Are there any members of the public who wish to address Commissioners Court with respect to this agenda item? Again, last chance. Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
I've got a motion and a second. I'm just going to, you give it to Commissioner Farias and Commissioner Lenny with the second. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Any action deemed necessary at this
Yes,
point?
Judge, this time that's what I'm asking.
And that would be the signs with the red lettering on it, right?
Yes, sir, both ways.
I have a motion and I heard a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Hearing none, we will move on, which means we will go back. Okay, discuss and consider action on the following items. Agenda item number 8, approve Commissioners Court regular term meeting schedule for fiscal year FY 2026-2027.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 9, approve, always a fun one for me, approve B County holiday schedule for fiscal year 2026-2027. How many weeks do we have this year?
Did we add some more?
I don't know. I got to watch Candy. She's
2
real
pages this
sneaky
year,
that
right?
way. No, these are all pretty standard. It's all the same.
Move to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 10, approve and accept the Texas Indigent Defense Commission fiscal year 2027 Improvement Grant Statement of Grant Award for the B Regional Public Defender Program, grant number R-2026-07179. This is my agenda item. This is something that we've thankfully been doing for well over a decade. For those of y'all in the audience, TIDC, which is the Texas Indigent Defense Commission, has a grant program whereby counties, especially rural counties, can obtain grant funding to pay for rural indigent criminal defense. We have had a longstanding contract with, originally it was Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid, now it's Texas Rio Grande Public Defender's Office. So different name, same entity. And they do a good job. And because we're able to participate in this program, the benefit to our county, to Live Oak County, and to McMullen County, of which we are all grouped together, we went together voluntarily, is we receive services valued at about $1.4 million, and we pay 1/3. The 3 counties apportion out about 1/3 of that cost, and the state of Texas pays 2/3. So this is largely housekeeping. If there's any questions, commissioners, I'm happy to answer them at this time.
Move to approve.
I have a motion to approve. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. Agenda item number 11, presentation of agricultural fall programs given by Landon Gulick, CEA? Oh, okay.
I noticed there wasn't a dollar sign next to it.
So many acronyms, right? Well, good morning, Landon Gulick from the B County Extension Office. I just want to share some upcoming programs we have going on here in B County for the fall, and then just want to make them known to Commissioners Court. So with that said, we'll start with the first program we got going on in September. Let the public pass one flyer around, and then these are for you, Commissioners. So the first one is the B County Weesatch Management and Control Field Day. This is the 5th year we've been doing this field day, so if you have any Weesatch issues on your property, please come on September 11th. We're going to be partnering with the USDA NRCS office here in B County with Stephanie, as well as we did get a $65 million grant from Texas A&M AgriLife Research to do what we call the Climate Smart Initiative program. That's going to help promote things like cross fencing, rotational grazing, planting drought-tolerant grasses, as well as some asset and assistance cost on purchasing brush grubbing and brush management type equipment. It's very similar to the EQIP program through NRCS, so it's a 50-50 grant reimbursement program for landowners. So we'll be talking about that on September 11th. We're also giving out 3 CEU hours, so if you have a private or commercial pesticide applicator's license, you know, like you're aware of, you have to have CEU hours to maintain your license, so we'll be doing that. So that's September 11th. We're also doing lunch that day, so come hungry and come to learn. The other thing we have going on in the county, and I think I've told the commissioners about,
Thank you, man.
is we have a new invasive pest down here in South Texas on our grass and hay pastures. It's called the pasture mealybug. Y'all probably heard about it. It's causing some issues here in B County. We've already lost numerous hay fields I've looked at. This pest is originally from Australia. They've been fighting it for many years, and it just recently moved here into Texas. Damages we're seeing are quite widespread across the county. It really likes KR bluestem and the other bluestem varieties, as well as your Tifton varieties, and we're seeing some significant losses on that. We're having a program September 18th. We're going to have Stephen Biles, one of our IPM agents. He's kind of a local expert on the issue down here in our area. He's from Victoria, as well as we're going to have USDA FSA's office also speaking about some damages that they might cause in terms of losses. So speaking to Dan Hunter, the executive director for Texas FSA Board, he's recommending if you have had losses from pasture mealybugs, keep track of records as far as if you've been spraying them, as expenses or just grass losses. There might be some FSA-assisted funding for those type losses for some cost recovery. So just keep track of that. We'll be doing it at Blue Ribbon at lunchtime, and then we're going to be actually looking at a very damaged hayfield on the north end of the town, Don Liska's place. Pretty much he lost his entire hayfield due to this pest. So we do have some new chemicals that just got legally labeled for pasture mealybug, like Centric with the Section 18 emergency approval. That's a great product. We got good research on that, as well as a new product from BASF called Safina. So we also got some latest research on the effectiveness of those products. We're also going to be doing a research here in the county with the folks at the research station on 59. We're going to be trying to identify resistant grasses to this bug. We know that KR bluestem, those bluestem varieties are very susceptible, as well as Tifton. But we're trying to map other grass species like buffalo, Klein grass, see where they kind of fall as far as resistance to this bug. So stay tuned, come on the 18th. It's going to be just a short program, but I think we got a lot to learn there. The other program we have going on in the county this October water well testing. So this year we partnered with the Texas Well Owners Network. They're coming down from A&M. So on October 7th, you can submit your water samples to us at the Extension office. You can bring them in a 16 to 20 ounce water bottle. And we're going to be doing the lab analysis that night at the expo. And then on the 8th, we're going to be having a program at lunchtime. Also going to have a lunch provided. So come hungry, come to learn. Talking about things like water well maintenance, water well 101, septic water, wastewater management, and then at the very end, they're going to interpretate everybody's water well samples. So if you have a water well or, use a personal private well, come bring all your water well samples. They're $15 per sample. It's a great program because you're getting about a $90 water test for $15, so that's really hard to beat. And I hope to see everybody there. One more thing, I don't have the final details nailed out yet, but Randy and I are partnering together on an oak tree management workshop in November. Still trying to get some details worked out with some presenters, but we're thinking November 19th. We'll be hosting, and the location is still TBA. Most likely will probably be at the expo or somewhere over there, but just basic oak tree management. I know everybody loves oak trees here in B County. I love them too. So just things on disease prevention, trimming, pruning, and just overall maintenance of your trees. But like I said, I'm Landon Gulick from the Extension office. My numbers are on the flyers, so feel free to take a picture and just call us if y'all ever have any questions. Any questions for you?
Just one or two, Landon. Is this information available on the Ag Extension website, on the B County
Yes,
homepage?
so we just got a new website system. Kathy posts my newsletters up there, so information on programs are posted on the website, as well as our Facebook page is Google B County AgriLife Extension Facebook. I'm always posting stuff on there for anything coming up, as well as the newspaper. I think I have the both the pasture mealybug and the brush management workshop in the paper. So, yep, just stay in touch with us. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Landon. Any other questions?
Just a comment.
Yes, sir.
Correct me if I'm wrong, 2018 was the last time we did the water well workshop, and there's a booklet that's given out at the end of the workshop. Is that in the program this time?
Yes,
For the
so
owner?
the Well Owners Network are gonna have the pamphlets and information that they bring on, like water well stuff.
It's a really good resource to get. I would encourage everyone to go to that. It's outstanding.
Yeah. Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Gulick. Have a great day. Moving on, agenda item number 12, presentation of B County 4-H and B County Junior Livestock and Homemaker Show year recap given by Randy Schauer.
Not quite as good a look.
Well, congratulations on your latest addition to your family.
Thank you, thank you.
And we're very glad to have Randy back at the county.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. For her, she had a meeting come up at Skidmore, so I stepped in and just going to give I'm Quattro Schauer, show superintendent for the B County Junior Livestock and Homemaker Show. This is just kind of the annual deal that I've started trying to do just to represent to y'all. So what I gave y'all is a breakdown of all of our money generated, and I'm not going to sit there and read each line item, but we had a total of 452 exhibitors this year, and they showed or presented a total of 967 entries, and total dollars generated was $1,175,394.50, which is a record. That's the most we've ever had. And then also, one record that almost doubled was the commercial heifer sale, which of course is due to high cattle prices, but that sale generated $309,000, so it almost doubled from the previous high. Also attached, I gave y'all a schedule of events for next year. So if y'all have any questions with that, there's one added. We had our first meeting back this fall. We are going to do a kickoff, and it is January 10th, and that is going to be another bingo like we did last year. So that is not on the schedule of events, but it's something to look forward to. If y'all have any questions of the breakdown and what I presented, just let me know. Thank you all very much.
I just want to say, and I think I've been saying this ever since I've had this podium, there's no greater nonprofit charitable activity in B County than the B County Livestock and Homemakers Show. The actual hard dollars that they put back into our youth, into programs, into learning about agriculture, about sewing, about baking, is the most meaningful charitable activity in B County. And having spent a few years, a long time ago, on the board of that organization, I know how much work it is, especially when you get into your role, Quattro. So thank you for doing that. It's thankless, it's hard, a lot of late nights, recalcitrant pigs. Really stubborn, recalcitrant pigs and other cute animals. But thanks for doing this. These are great numbers. I think in about 2011, 2012, when I first started really participating, and Doc, I think you can confirm this or correct me if I'm wrong. I think the total amount that the livestock show was raising on a year-over-year basis was fluttering around $400,000 to $600,000 a year. So to be able to report that y'all have raised it's 80%, right? 80% goes directly back to the children? 90% goes directly back to the children. To be able to report that over $1 million was raised as a result of this. And that's not just free money. These kids work for it, and their parents work for it, and their siblings work for it, is just wonderful. So kudos to y'all, kudos to the kiddos. If anybody out here has children, nephews, nieces, if they're adults and they love baking or they're into baking or sewing or any other type of creative activities, look them up, get involved. It's a really great program. They can always use volunteers, and they can always use new competitors. I don't know, what's the word? Contestant? What's the word for the kiddos? Exhibitors, thank you. Yes. So thank you for that.
Yep, thank you.
Anything further? All right.
Appreciate it.
Okay, agenda item number 13, approved deed without warranty between B County and Anna Marie Salinas regarding property in Skidmore, Texas. Commissioner Lenny, this is your item. You have the floor.
Yes, sir. Judge, Mr. Salinas had come to me, this is a lot, well, what this is referring to is about a size of a half of a lot when you're coming into Skidmore on the right-hand side where the school is. And Mrs. Salinas, correct me if I'm wrong, Rudy, they own the full lot that's between this half lot and the Skidmore School District property. And this half lot had belonged to an individual many years ago, and no one really knows how B County acquired it. And he's been asked, we've been talking with Mike Knight's office to be able to deed this half lot back to Mrs. Salinas. And I believe Mr. Knight is here if we have any questions. He texted me, he's out in the hallway, I believe.
Mr. Knight? Mike? Somebody's got to get him, or else I got to get up and get him. Where my bailiffs are.
I got Ken Jefferson's attention to get him. Was it the counties?
I think that's the kind of the core issue is we're not really exactly sure. And I think it came up earlier a couple of years ago or so. There's some land. Hey, Mr. Knight, you're here. Thank you. You're saving me. We're on agenda item number 13, a deed without warranty. Is this something that B County can do? We can voluntarily convey a piece of property that we own?
Off the beaten path, because typically what we deal with are right-of-ways that have been deeded to the public, but have never been opened, never been used, or in the case of County Road's perhaps been closed. And this is none of those, and so you're absolutely right about that. And I think it's a matter of the court's discretion, because obviously it's a deed without warranty. And what we're talking about is probably a third of a lot that Business 181 went to Skidmore and took up probably about 2/3 of that lot. And it's adjacent to what used to be a church, because the church has been using that sliver as a parking lot, and really, he would be better served by filing possession and use affidavit, because this deed conveys nothing, whatever our interest is in it. Theoretically, it may end up on the tax roll, the title district, and this particular sliver of property does not show up on our tax rolls.
Okay.
But you're right, it is off the beaten path, because typically what we deal with are, alleyways, right-of-ways, and.
Can you speak up for our audience, Mr. Knight?
Yes. It's not unusual. B County, we underwent mapping back in, I forget, how many years ago, Commissioner?
It's when the temporary headquarters is over in the old HEB, probably 2011, somewhere in there.
I was going to say,
Actually, I think it's longer than that.
Could be.
about 20 years ago.
What you have throughout the county, you have roads which have been dedicated to the public, but they've never been opened and never been used. And once the county undertook mapping, which was authorized by the legislature, it enabled us to claim whatever roads we were going to claim, and all of everything else that was dedicated to public basically went back. And then you have to have a mechanism to get that back in your name. Say, for example, you got a street in a private subdivision that never got opened. Now, and we've had landowners come and ask, I'd like to acquire title of this, and that we can do because it is a road. And so typically, in that case, depending on what came off of, in that circumstance, it come off of both sides. So somebody would get half of it on this side, somebody would get half on the other side. And we did that because of the mapping, but this is something different. And I appreciate the court catching that, because I was going to praise the court for that. Because can the court do it? It's a matter within the court's discretion. It is outside our normal discretion because it doesn't involve a platted road, alleyway, or other county roads been abandoned. Because I think that with in and of itself, I mean, it needs to be followed up by an affidavit of use of possession to the public.
Judge, I have a question.
Just real quick, just so I can explain. My concern has nothing to do with the end result or the goal. I think that's great, but my core concern is B County does own other tracts and other lots, and in prior years, I've had adjacent landowners to those lots come to me and say, how can I work a deal out with the county? And my response has always been, we can't just preferentially sell a piece of county-owned property to one person. The only way that we can do it fair, open, and transparent is to go for auction or public bidding process or list it for sale. And so that's my only concern, is if it's within our discretion. My concern is that we're changing course and there will be other landowners who are going to come back and say, you told me no. You told me we couldn't do this, that it'd have to go out to public. I want what I asked for now, which is not necessarily relevant for this limited purpose, but that's my only concern about this.
My concern, Judge, is very, very similar to yours. What I'm hearing, we're giving away county property. I can't go along with that and just give away county property. I mean, if it belongs to the county, if we have it in our possession, or we think it's enough of ours that we're going to do a deed without warranty on it, we're giving it away. This doesn't sit
Commissioner,
right.
if I might, I would disagree with you respectfully. This is no man's land. Because typically, and as I mentioned before, this is not a road that's been platted or deeded to the public, but never opened or used. This is no man's land, and that's the distinction to be drawn. And
We could give it to the school.
and if we owned it, it wouldn't be a deed without warranty.
We don't know that we own it, is what we're saying.
Yes, Your Honor, because it does not show up on our tax rolls. I mean, I verified that with the appraisal district. And so the court can do this in its discretion or not do it, because quite frankly, it's going to have to be, it'd have to have a possession and use affidavit to be effective.
Let me ask a question. Now, is it adjacent also to the school property?
No, because how that works is this, Commissioner, you have Business 181 right away, because that's what took up the major portion of this lot. And then you have Lot 2, which was the old, it was a Pentecostal church, and then everything beyond that is the Skidmore Independent School District. Well, you have, so this is Lot 1, you have Lot 2, and everything on that side is the school district, and everything on the other side of Lot 2 is the school district. Because my understanding, the church has been using that for parking, and perhaps a better method would be simply to file a possession use affidavit to the public for the requisite length of time.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, Mike.
I appreciate it. I mean,
The pragmatic component, I'm with you 100%,
Well,
of just the mechanics
but it
of it.
is a precedent, Your Honor, and the question, does the court feel comfortable going there? That's a decision for the court, not for me.
I understand. Appreciate any other questions for Mr. Knight?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve the deed without warranty between B County and Anna Marie Salinas regarding the property in Skidmore, Texas.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I'll second it, just so we can go to a vote. We've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Is Ms. Salinas here?
Mr. Salinas.
Mr. Salinas, I apologize. I didn't even give you an opportunity to address the court. Do you have something you'd like to share with us, sir? Yeah, please come forward at the lectern. Yes, sir, of course. My apologies. I should have done that beforehand.
Well, I didn't, it's my fault, I didn't sign up because the agenda, that's my wife's property.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you fine.
Did y'all get a copy of the map concerning that particular lot?
I don't believe we did. No, sir.
Got a deed.
Sure, thank you.
which one's in question?
My name is Israel Salinas, better known as Rudy. Everybody that knows me here, known me by Rudy. We've lived in Skidmore all our lives. And my wife was the pastor of the Pentecostal church that was located at that lot number 2, adjacent to that lot 1, next to the Highway 181. Then when that church was donated to a mission, to another mission, and it was moved, she didn't even know, we didn't even know that that lot 1 belonged to the county. We thought that lot 2 included lot 1, and it was a big lot. And so when we started to, after we moved the church, started to look into locating water and services, utilities to that lot, we realized what was there. It was lot 1 didn't belong to anybody but the county, and it had belonged to the county since the 1950s. So at least that's what the records from Mr. Warren surveyed it. And so we're trying to clear up that our lot 2, and we can't do it without getting proper utilities, without the adjacent property, which is part of lot 1. It belongs to the county.
The utilities companies are telling you we can't cross lot 1 because you don't own it, and so.
Well, lot 1 was always used, even before my wife owned it, even before the church was there. Prior, I guess, for the last 100 years, that church has been there for 100 years, until it was moved. So we just assumed, and they assumed, that it belonged to, it all encompassed lot 1 or lot 2. So they had full privilege, we had full privilege to lot 1 all these years, and prior to that. So, but the bottom line is, according to Title 8 of the Local Government Code, allows for this. Do you all have a copy of that?
No, sir. It's Title 8 of what? Local Government Code?
Title 8, Local Government Code, under subtitle C, acquisition, sale, or lease provisions applying to more than one type of local government. Chapter 272, sale or lease of property by municipalities, counties, and certain other local governments. Section 272.001, notice of sale or exchange of land by political subdivisions. Exceptions, except for the types of land and interest covered by subsection B. And in subsection B, it says the notice and bidding requirements of subsection A do not apply to the types of land and real property interests described by this subsection and owned by a political subdivision. The land and those interests described by this subsection may not be conveyed, sold, or exchanged for less than the fair market value of the land or interest unless the conveyance, the sale, or exchange is with one or more abutting property owners who own the underlying fee simple. So the abutting property is my wife's property, Lot 2. So according to this section,
it allows for the conveyance. Not free, it could be sale, trade, but the law does allow for that. Any questions?
Just for Mr. Knight,
Mr. Knight?
Therein lies the problem, Your Honor, because
who owns
based on my
under,
investigation, it's no man's land. And if it is owned by the county, if it is owned by the county in this circumstance, then we've got to set a price on it.
yeah.
And so he's kind of talked his, Mr. Salinas respectfully has talked his way out into a corner.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Because, again, the other alternative is simply file a possession use affidavit, and based on what he has told
Sounds
the
like they
court,
own
I
it.
mean, he could file a 50-year possession use affidavit, which would be honored by any title company. Because I've done it before.
Would it be on behalf of the church?
Well, it would be his wife, because
She owns that whole lot
she's the
too.
owner of Lot 2, and
Where the church
Lot
sat.
2 is being used in conjunction with what was left of Lot 1. Because I think it's been a parking lot for the church for a long time. And like I said, this is a matter of discretion, because from a title standpoint, for my part, a better method, I mean, this is a method, a better method would be a possession use affidavit. Because we don't run into it very much anymore, but back in the day, I mean, people would lose their records. The courthouse would burn. And it's not unusual to find people who own property and they could not locate a deed because they lost their records, the courthouse burned, and so what do? You trot out a 50 or 60-year possession use affidavit, and the title companies will accept that.
That sounds better than this.
How do we find out who for sure?
But if he's saying the county owns it, then we can't do this transaction.
No.
And I,
You better just go on the courthouse steps and make it fair. Nobody's got interest in it.
Mr. Knight's provided a pathway that
the
would
possession
be
use affidavit
Yes.
is simpler.
productive.
And it's legal.
Well, true.
I'm going to use the word legaler than this.
Well, there are better methods. Commissioner, there are better methods,
Yeah.
because a deed without warranty is just a bare step above a quitclaim deed. Whatever our interest in this property, if any, because we're not making any representations of title whatsoever. And so even if the court were to approve this, it'd still take a possession use affidavit to really make it work.
And we haven't established a precedent.
That's true, because that's the only concern I have, because as I mentioned before, typically we've always been dealing with alleyways, bits of roads within a subdivision that have never been opened. They're platted, dedicated to the public, but they've never been opened or used by the public. And that's a legitimate quiet title. This is something different.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Thank you again, Mr. Knight. Hearing none, we have a pending motion on the floor to approve the deed without warranty between B County and Anna Marie Salinas regarding property in Skidmore, Texas. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Motion fails 0-3, or 4 if you add me in. Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Knight,
Permission
again.
excused?
Permission granted, I appreciate it. Mr. Salinas, just keep working on this, all right? There's a solution here. Sir?
He needs to go that other route.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe you can just talk to him. I will. Let him know this has nothing to do with it. It's just we got it. Okay. Now, thank you all for being so patient and waiting around. Agenda item number 14, discussion regarding proposed AI data center in North B County. Commissioner DeWitt, this is your agenda item. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Judge. If you would, Judge, I have a prepared statement that I would like to read into the record.
It won't increase the sound. This is just for the...
Judge, if you would, I have a prepared statement to read into the record. One thing I'd like to talk before I do my prepared statement, there is a petition online from change.org that is gathering signatures if you research change.org, they've got 150 employees. They work out of 15 different countries. They say they don't want any money for doing these petitions. Somebody's paying these 150 employees. So kind of keep that in the back of your mind as we go through this. And also, a Willie Nelson song that I heard the other day that said something in one of the lyrics, the winds of change are constant. Keep that in your mind also. And if you would, I'll read this statement. Thank you all and all the folks here online that have an interest in data centers. The court is aware of petition protests regarding possible data centers in B County. The petition as written does not fully apply to the current B County proposal. The petition appears to come from change.org, a commercial petition generation service. This AI-based platform can create virtually any type of petition once information is entered and submitted. You could contact this company and say, I want a petition about hummingbird migration, and they'll present it to you. And you go get it signed. It's all done online. After a petition is generated, it is emailed with fields for a person's name and email address. Completing those fields counts as signing the petition. Based on its wording and language choices, the circulated petition appears to have been generated by AI. Number one, the petition states a data center will connect to the electrical grid. Governor Abbott, our governor, recently stated no more electric grid hookups will be permitted. He said to the effect that he doesn't want people's electric bills going up, so he's not going to let them hook up. The one in B County will produce its own electricity with natural gas generators. Number two, the petition references a massive amount of water being constantly used to cool the installation. The newer data centers utilize what's called a closed-loop system that effectively uses the same cooling water for up to 10 years. If you would, there is a natural gas plant not too far from where this data center is going in. They will use more water in a month than this data center will use in 10 years, according to what I read. Number three, in a telephone call, a resident stated to me, personally, that the proposed data center would result in local livestock aborting calves, like was stated to them in a Pawnee meeting by folks from Live Oak County. I reminded the individual, I lost 3 young calves. Our ranch has been in the family since the 1880s. I've raised cattle since I was a little boy. I lost 3 young calves due to abortion prior to the heavy rains in June and July due to the extremely hot and dry conditions. Cattle are under stress, and when they're trying to have a calf and the feed is low, it's hot, sometimes they abort. Cattle are under stress due to local conditions, not data center influence. TCEQ, Commission on Environmental Quality, has granted a permit number RN 112471560, June 25, 2026, to Mr. Jason Wallace, founder, Atticus Power, OPCO 1 LLC, Austin, Texas. And I quote, Atticus Power, OPCO 1 LLC submitted an application June 13, 2026 to register construction related to electric generating units to be located at 5811 County Road 136, Pawnee, B County. We understand this registration is for emissions associated with a Bloom Energy ES5/ES10 solid oxide fuel cell platform and 3 Bergen B36 45B engines. I continue to quote. The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, TCEQ, has determined that your proposed emissions are authorized by this standard permit pursuant to Title 30 Administrative Code number 116-602 and Texas Health and Safety Code number 382.05195 if constructed and operated as described in your registration. Close quotes. This data center permit allows construction and operation to begin. B County does not have the authority nor legal ability to stop or regulate this type of activity. The B County Commissioners Court has no additional information about the proposed data center beyond what is included in this document. That authority rests with the individual landowner. Listen to this very carefully, what I'm fixing to say. Current sale prices for land purchase for data centers in Texas range from $20,000 to $40,000 per acre. $20,000 to $40,000 per acre. To be honest, I do not know of a landowner who would not consider selling land for $40,000 an acre. B County residents can approach this issue in several ways. As adversaries, which is expensive, time-consuming, and usually unproductive, or as good neighbors working together toward the best outcome for everyone involved. If this or any other data centers are built in B County, the current Commissioners Court is not inclined to grant tax breaks. The potential tax revenue could help reduce taxes for all of us. Let me repeat, we are not inclined to do the tax break. It was mentioned earlier about the tax breaks. No, this court does not do that. One factor that is easily overlooked is national security. There is currently a heated global race to harness artificial intelligence, AI, for both good and bad. AI is produced and generated through the proliferation of data centers due to the enormous amount of computing generation needed. Adversarial foreign actors, China, India, Iran, North Korea, etc., are striving to harness AI and striving to outpace the U.S. in AI capacity and control. These foreign actors are peppering folks across the United States with misinformation, fomenting discontent and mayhem to stop data centers from being constructed in the U.S. Please stop and think of the consequences for all of us and our children and grandchildren if China or North Korea wins this AI race and controls AI because we listen to the siren song and stop data centers in the United States. Thank you, B County Commissioner Dennis DeWitt.
Thank you, Mr. DeWitt. Further discussions or anything?
Not on my part, sir.
Commissioners, do y'all have anything you want to add?
I want to appreciate and thank all of you guys for coming and voicing your opinions. I've done research on this data centers, and thank you, Commissioner DeWitt, for your presentation this morning. I know that there's been questions of the taxes, you know, what it will bring in to the county. But my bigger question is, does it outweigh all the negativity that I've researched about data centers? And I don't think that it does. And so I'm with you guys on that. I don't think it's a good thing where they want to put it. You know, like gentlemen say, put it in Alaska. You know, put it in the desert. I get it. You know, but that's based on everything that I've researched, and I know that y'all's petition is real people signing sheets, not AI that formed it. I do know that. So that's all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Sammy, you don't have to, if you want to.
I'm going to pass. I don't think, do we have a choice? I mean, does the court have any say in this?
Unfortunately, no. It's just the way that the state of Texas is set up. B County, like all counties and municipalities, and I'm not going to belabor y'all, I'm not pandering to you, just the way it is. It's incredibly frustrating to be on this side of this table, not just dealing with data centers, but dealing with a whole host of things that the state legislature in its infinite wisdom has decided that counties need to handle without coming up with any funding mechanism to take care of it, or saying, counties, you can't handle that. Right? So there's a lot going on, and it's going to be very interesting. The coming congressional terms, I think, are going to be very meaningful for our incoming commissioners and county judge as we continue to see unfunded mandates and restricted authority. A lot of this has to do with the fact that our state legislature, which is, you know, predominantly red, is in open conflict and warfare with our urban counties and urban municipalities, which are predominantly blue on the political spectrum. So the state legislature passes laws which get those blue municipalities and counties and force them to do what the state legislature wants them to do. But those same statutes that they pass, they also trickle down out here to rural counties where we don't have funding, we don't have tax base, we don't have structure, ability, means to actually address in a meaningful manner the new directives or the restrictions on our rights or on what we would like to be able to voice. Because the state has a plan and they don't want us to come in and frustrate that plan. I agree with the sentiments that Commissioner Linney shared. I also agree with the unfortunate and unpleasant hard truths that Commissioner DeWitt shared. I wanted to take a moment to respond to a couple of the comments that occurred during public comment. And I know there's counter arguments to everything that I'm about to say. Please don't jump up and start challenging me on this, okay? I get it. I understand everything is imperfect, but that's kind of the world that we live in. First, I'll start with tax abatements. Ever since I've been on this board, we have not granted a single tax abatement company, and I'll tell you right now, I don't expect that Commissioner Linney, when he becomes judge, and the future commissioners that are present, when they become commissioners, I don't anticipate that will change. But I can tell you, as a taxpayer, as a member of this community, and as a pro-oil and gas guy, unless we start giving oil and gas companies tax abatements to make money, why would we give green energy tax abatements to come in and do the same damn thing? All right, so tax abatements aren't something that the county is considering. As far as I'm aware, and I'll turn around and look at my staff, I don't believe this entity has ever reached out to us to interact with me at all, because they know they don't have to. And you made comments, some of the public speakers made comments summarizing that this entity may be operating in the shadows. Well, yeah, of course they are, because they're bringing something that is highly politicized, that is potentially environmentally calamitous, and they don't have to. And if they don't have to get buy-in by this county government, by you as the citizens, why would they? They're not going to. So this is, that's my nice way of encouraging y'all to continue on. I'm not sure exactly how B County as an entity can assist y'all, can facilitate, can provide reasonable protections, but we are here to help. So we may not have a solution, we may not have a plan at the end of this agenda item, but you may. Keep bringing them to us. Please let us know. I will say this, when we have a major construction project in B County, in North B County, you know this more than any of the other parts of B County, because with Helena Wind Farm, with the solar panel, with caliche pits, with oil and gas activity, which we're all a little more jealous of y'all since y'all got some, than most of us in the rest of the county, but not enough. But those entities, they do work with B County, and they have worked with B County in the past. It's limited. It doesn't give us a lot of teeth, but usually we're able to work out some agreement with respect to their use of county roads during their construction obligations. And so there may be a mechanism or a vehicle by which we can, at the very least, make sure that we get the opportunity to share with the owners of this project what our real thoughts and concerns are. Secondly, when it comes to our volunteer fire departments, B County is blessed with our volunteer fire departments. This Commissioner's Court, for as long as I've been on Commissioner's Court, has done everything within our power to support our volunteer firefighters and fire departments. If there's something else that you need, come to us, because we do recognize and understand how difficult it is not only to retain volunteer firefighters, but to be able to have equipment that still operates. We've got fire truck. What's the oldest fire truck y'all are operating? Yeah, there's like a 1950s water truck rolling around the county, and by God, it works, and it probably works better than the newer ones that we have, but fire equipment is incredibly expensive. And our volunteer fire departments, although they do receive a little bit of funding, it is not enough to pay for $1.5 million fire truck. And when you start talking about fire suppression in the modern age, our volunteer firefighters that spoke, and maybe some others that spoke, they hit the nail on the head. You can't, let's say a Tesla catches on fire on 181, we can't put it out. Yeah, and that's a battery, right? And so any of these big, new green energy contraptions that go up around our county our fire departments, our volunteer fire departments, they're willing and they're able and they'll do everything they can to protect life and property, without question. Incredibly brave. Thank them for everything that they do. But they do not have the tools capable to do that which they need to do as it stands right now. There is little in the way of being able to solve that issue unless this company would want to upfit the Pawnee Volunteer Fire Department and other rural volunteer fire departments. But there's nothing that requires that they do that. So again, rock in a hard place. B County does have a active LEPC. See somebody in the back in a blue shirt with a black vest on, who, and that's Mr. Cave, David Cave. You're still the chair? All right, so the Law Enforcement Planning? Local Emergency Planning Committee.
And he'll be on the Commissioner's Court in January.
That's right, and so he's going to have to turn that over. But the LEPC, and I know all the volunteer firefighters here are very aware of the LEPC, but for everybody else that's here, the LEPC deals, and Mr. Cave, I don't want to open up the floor because it is a very large and wide-ranging organization. It's mandated by the state statute. We have to have an LEPC. But the purpose and in respect, or with respect to this particular topic, the goal of the LEPC is to make sure that your first responders and the community are aware of what to do in the event of chemical spills, of a pipeline bursting, of industrial accidents. The best example that Mr. Cave gave to me for kind of encapsulating what the LEPC is designed to do is what happens if you have a gas truck, an 18-wheeler, passing by HEB at 3 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon, and it gets into a wreck and it spills and all of those vapors and whatnot go up. Do the people that are in HEB, does HEB shut its doors and hold everybody inside? Do they send everybody out the back? What do? What do first responders do when they show up? What is the process? Who's in charge when you've got state responders and DPS and all of your law enforcement and your volunteer fire department and the county emergency managers and looky-loos and, locals who are desirous of helping? How do you manage that? How do you control that? Unfortunately, I think the vast majority of those processes of learning that process is a desktop, right? So, but it's not actually giving you the tools that you need and saying, okay, here's a Tesla on fire, how do you put it out? Which would be great, and I think the LEPC should investigate that. And it's not Dave Cave's organization, and Dave Cave doesn't put on these presentations. The state of Texas has set programs and set certifications that first responders can obtain, to deal with these issues that are new and novel in our community. And so we've got folks from Texas A&M that come down and teach, and other state agencies, TEACS. Don't ask me what that stands for, but it is an acronym. Wait, what is it? Yeah, well, you're with me. It's TEACS. But there are resources for training, and that is something that we need to be thinking about, and that may be something that LEPC can do, maybe to interact or bring into the fray this potential entity that wants to build a data center, as well as other entities that want to build. I think y'all did work with the there's an outfit that's making an installation outside of Tynan. Is that right? Y'all been working with them some? And of course, the pipeline companies and oil companies, your traditional energy producers, they're fully tied in with LEPCs around the state. They participate, they volunteer, they donate. They're actually active. And that's the best solution that we have with the interaction or the intersection of privates and of these corporate entities that are doing things that, in the grand scheme of things, they benefit all of us. But as they impact us individually, that cost is much greater. right? Everybody loves oil and gas until the oil company wants to put a pipeline with eminent domain within 300 feet of your house or 500 feet of your house. And me, just like everybody else, all of a sudden, we're gonna fight that as hard as we can. They're still gonna get it, but we're gonna try to take as much flesh off their bone as possible in order to allow them to do so. There was a lot of discussion about light, noise, sound pollution. These are all very valid concerns. I don't know how many, well, again, I'm not trying to pander. Y'all remember when the cryogenic facility went in off Kings Lane, West Kings Lane? I represented several landowners who lived immediately adjacent to that. That thing went in. They built it. They were flaring. Y'all remember that big flare? It was like 100 feet tall. You could read your newspaper in your backyard. My clients, they could open their window and see that flame 500 yards away from them. Their entire houses shook when that flame went off. There was no stopping it, right? It was a civil case, and it was a nuisance case at best. And I don't know how many of y'all remember, about 10, 15 years ago, there was a big nuisance case in Karnes County, and it did not go well for the landowner, because at the end of the day, it's a nuisance case, and damages are obtuse and hard to determine. And in Texas, we still highly value, and I think in a general sense, all of us agree, we, as much as we say we value private property and private citizens' rights, we value corporate growth. We value development. We are competing on a national and worldwide scale. And oftentimes in the court systems, those interests take precedent over one poor landowner. But that doesn't mean that you don't fight. That doesn't mean that you don't stand up and say this is wrong. That doesn't mean that you don't still continue to try to engage in a meaningful way to provide some solution that benefits not only you individually, but those that you live around. So again, I applaud you for that. The Bee County Groundwater Conservation District. This is something that has been increasingly made important, dealing with the Evangeline Aquifer in San Patricio and Nueces County. You see it in Goliad County. There was an appellate court decision within the last 2 years, I think it was within this year, in North Texas, where it was very important. This is very important. Groundwater conservation districts are a statutory quasi-local government entity. It's a separate legal entity with its authority granted to it by the state of Texas, and it is in charge of managing this county's groundwater. It is the authority with, or it's the entity with authority. Right? So recently there's a case in North Texas, and in that particular case, I don't know who the applicant was for the well permit, but it was a commercial well permit, and the Groundwater Conservation District denied the permit. At the appellate court level, the appellate judges said, look, this is the entity that the state legislature has burdened with the decision and the obligation to decide whether or not they should grant a permit given their knowledge of their water resources in their county. And we want to do everything we can to honor their diligence, not come back in and double and second guess and look and overrule them. So your appellate courts support your groundwater conservation districts. You've seen that now in the Evangeline Aquifer in San Patricio County. There have been some proceedings and some suits that are involved, but the long and short of it is, if the San Patricio Groundwater Conservation District denies a permit to Nueces County to drill water wells to supplement the water that's being consumed in Nueces County, I believe the appellate courts will uphold that decision, because that is the Groundwater Conservation District's right. So what does that mean to us in Bee County? We have a potential calamitous issue that we're very concerned about in the northern part of the county. We know they're going to need some water. There's existing water wells, so it may be, much ado about nothing. But if there's not, it's the members of the Groundwater Conservation District that need to be brought into the loop, that you need to communicate with them. And they're great guys. They're just like us. Hopefully you know some. If not, you can get with my office. We'll figure out a list and we'll get it to you. A couple smaller things. I think I already cleared it up. There have been no negotiations with the county. The county's not making any money off of this. The county has as much right to control this as they do a caliche pit, an oil and gas well, or any other commercial activity in our county. So there's been no negotiations. There is no contract, but at least with respect to county roads and maybe construction, and maybe there'll be some other things that we could tie into. We don't have a lot of teeth, but that would be an agreement that we might be able to negotiate for.
No NDAs.
Oh, yes, and there are no NDAs. Like I said, I haven't even spoken to these folks. I don't know who they are. And I don't know why that's funny.
I'll leave.
You don't have
Before
to.
I say something.
Say it.
It makes it very clear with this meeting who the people that are taking the money under the table and the people that are standing out for this group.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I know you've already left. It is incredibly offensive.
And it's not true.
It's not true, but it's okay. Y'all can have your opinion. You can think that I'm in bed with some company. I'm telling you I'm not. I can't convince you one way or the other if you're already convinced. And so that's okay. It's okay that if you feel that way. All I can tell you is it's not true. Judge my veracity based on my conduct, based on who I am. Fortunately, that's kind of a low note, but I don't really have anything else to share. I just don't really want to open the floor, but I'll do it. No, Mrs. Brown, you can ask it.
I took this off of TCEQ's website. It's public information. It's totally public. No, ma'am, it's public information. It's not secret stuff.
I just need to know, how do we acquire that information?
There's no secret squirrel stuff here.
No, I'm not saying anything.
The TCEQ website. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, TCEQ website. And if I could, Judge?
Yeah, absolutely.
I too want to say how much we appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to come, to let us know what's on your mind. We'll keep an eye out for this. I tried to get information on this company from TCEQ, couldn't do it. It's secret, they're not gonna tell anybody. I know I'm just a commissioner, but they wouldn't tell me either. So I appreciate your pain, I know what you're talking about. If you'll remember, we all worked together and we stopped 2 oil field waste dumps, one in Pawnee and one in Pettus. So it's not like this court is not working with you, we're not working against you, we just don't know anything. You probably know more than we do, and I suggest we cut it off, Judge.
No, I'll let it, it's okay.
I know, and this is just for y'all, so if
Mhm.
you want to reach out to me. Thank you. I have been digging deep for information. So I do have more information than y'all at the moment. So if at some point, I would love to talk to y'all to provide the information on the company. I know where they're from. I know who, like, we know a lot of information. So if y'all would like the information, we are here to share it with y'all.
Thank you,
I don't
Ms.
want
Liz.
y'all to be in the dark either.
I'll have my office reach out to you. That'd be wonderful, a little bit
Thank
later
you.
today. If you could, before you leave, just make sure Pauletta gets her contact information. Again, I think we're all upset and frustrated, I get it. It's not the ending, it's just the beginning, so we'll see what we can do. Anything else, any other discussion?
No, sir.
All right. The court will take no action at this time. We'll move on. We just have a few items left, just so y'all know. I know you can leave right now if you want to, but you don't have to. But we've only got like four items left, which are largely ministerial in nature. Agenda item number 16, approve fiscal year 2027 sheriff's and constables fees report.
Move to approve.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 17, approve optional motor vehicle fees for vehicle registration in the county for year 2027, tabled during the August 10, 2026 regular term meeting. You have the last year's we approved. We didn't have any changes. I don't believe we have any changes this year. Is that all correct? April? She doesn't know.
We don't have anybody from the tax
Yeah.
office.
Oh, is this a county clerk issue? This is the agenda item we tabled last. We wanted to look at last year's. It's the same.
It's Mattis, isn't it? It's not clerk, it's Mattis.
Motor vehicle.
That's okay. It doesn't matter who it is, it's ours, and there are no changes,
Move
and
to
I'd ask for the approval. Thank you. I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Awesome. Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Agenda item number, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 18, approve maintenance agreement proposal number 6014 by board number 757-24 between Quantum North America and B County for quarterly preventative maintenance of the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning HVAC equipment at the B County Expo Center.
Move to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 19, approve Auditor's Office request to use the county credit card for the 2027 County Management and Risk Conference Early Bird Reservations at Kalahari Resorts in Round Rock on March 31st through April 2nd, 2027.
Move to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion and I've got a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. We have no executive session items on the agenda today. Before I move on to agenda item number 20, which is adjournment, I'd like to thank everybody once again for being present here today, for your comments, and even taking everything into context, the entire conversation that we had, every public comment. I want to commend y'all for the courtesy, for the clarity, for holding in your passions, maybe about how you really think or what you really want to say. I mean that sincerely. You see meetings like this across the country devolve into vulgar name-calling, accusation-throwing events, which are great for watching if you're not involved, but are not ever productive. And I think everybody that spoke today wants something productive to come out of this, if at all possible. So thank you again to all the individuals. If there are any that are online that were watching us today, thank you for your presence as well. And do know if you have any questions or if you have any input as well, you can always come to a future Commissioner Court meeting. And thanks to my wife and Victor and Annetta for watching as well. Moving on to agenda item number 20, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Wow. All right, I got a motion. I wasn't expecting that. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, everybody.